So I'm here with Royston Vasie, however you want to say it, which brings me to the first question about the title of your album. How do you pronounce that?
Tanamara.
Basically, yeah.
I hear that there's a few different pronunciations, but what's the correct one? And firstly, has it come from the suburb in Brisbane? Because there is a suburb in Brisbane called Tanamara. Or is it the beautiful looking hotel that's in Bali that I found online?
We haven't heard about that one yet.
Oh, we might go. That sounds cool.
You should check it out. So there's a place called Tanamara in Bali.
Okay.
It looks pretty swish.
Yeah, nice.
Perhaps you guys could get like an album launch there or something.
Sweet. Or we should just be able to stay there free every time we go there.
Promotional purposes.
Great advertising.
So where did the name come from?
I read it in a book a while ago. It was just an old book that my grandparents had in their house, and the words just jumped off the page, and then I googled it and found out it was a Malaysian and Indonesian village, and which stood for Red Earth in their language, and the little suburb that myself and Cam and my brother Brad come from is called Murubak, which is Aboriginal for Red Earth.
That didn't come up in my Google search, so perhaps the Balinesian city should get onto the SEO.
I think like it's red land, red earth, red dirt. It's all just the same thing, but
all relative.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And so tell us about the process of recording, because this album was kind of a while in the making and was meant to come out last year. Is that right?
Yeah. Kind of got pushed forward a little bit. Yeah.
The recording process didn't take a great deal. It was probably done over about 3 or 4 months. Well, the first batch of songs was probably about 5 or 6 songs that happened, and we recorded all those, and then it got sort of put on the back burner for a little bit. A few things were happening, and then went back in probably about, I think, about 3 or 4 months later, and then recorded the next 5 or 6 songs, cut a few out, and then put it all together. And then we had it all ready probably about a year ago. It was just a few things that weren't going our way, and then finally everything worked and everything was going our way, and then got it out finally. So it probably could have been released probably about a year ago, but we've learned probably a few lessons and everything behind the scenes kind of stuff, but it's all out there now. So
all those things, what is the saying? All good things worth waiting for, or something?
Yeah.
Perhaps this is the case.
Yeah.
There you go. And I have been listening to the record. I'm going to tell you my favourite tracks so far. All the Little People, I'm really digging. And Get Back Yesterday.
Oh, cool.
What are your favourite tracks off the album?
not those two. No, those two have actually been coming up quite a bit in any review we've been listening to, and they've been spinning a little bit on Triple R as well. Get Back Yesterday, so it wasn't sort of an obvious one for us. It was one that we enjoyed, I suppose, recording all the tones and all the sounds of the guitars and everything. But people have sort of mentioned that a few times in a few of the interviews. So, but I think the last song would be my favourite song, Don't Waste Your Time. It's the oldest one, I think, on the record too.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
A bit more mellow as well.
Yeah.
Nice little album ender.
Yeah, I think that for me, that song sort of marked when we were writing initially together. If you look at the difference between the EP and this, there's definitely a marked difference. And I think Don't Waste Your Time was sort of that sort of turning point with our songwriting. I think it sort of shifted a gear, and I think everything sort of, that wasn't the one song that changed everything, but I think it was one of the earlier songs, and then it's sort of the Royston Vasie now as we are, sort of stemmed from that, I think. So, but there's quite a few corkers on there, especially your ones.
What are your favourite songs to play live off the album? Like, can you play them all live? Have you worked out that far as yet, or?
Well, Get Back Yesterday doesn't really work live. We struggle with that.
I don't know. It's just
we just can't.
I think it's
been a while. I've never played it.
I think it's
perhaps an acoustic version.
it's quite it's a softer song for us, so it may not sound that way, but I suppose Lee's probably a child of the 90s, or so am I, but of the grunge era where it's a bit of light and shade, soft, sort of lighter verses, and then your big distorted choruses. So that one isn't that, it's sort of just a light the whole way through, I think. So it's a little bit different for us. So it was, definitely, it worked really well recording, but we've just never really dug it ourselves playing it live. I don't know. We haven't had bottles thrown at us when we played it. It's probably been 2 years since we played it, I think. So.
I reckon.
I guess you're not really thinking about that when you're writing, are you?
No.
Like, this is going to be awesome. I mean, sometimes this is going to be awesome live, or this is just not going to work live, but we love this song anyway.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the difference between making something like an EP and an album, that you can have those tracks that you don't have to play live and you can have on there as your guilty pleasure.
Yes, yeah, most certainly.
So how many tracks didn't make the cut for the album?
There's a couple floating around.
Maybe 4 or 5, I reckon, that were established songs that were probably songs that we liked and that were, I think, definitely good songs. Just it probably wasn't an accurate representation of us as a band, I think. I know that sounds like I'm a pretentious wanker when I say that. But yeah, they just weren't quite us. Like, I don't know, maybe us evolved. They probably should have gone on the EP. We only had a 4-track EP. I think we should have extended that out to being a 6-track.
Then you could have called it a mini album.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Got it out a lot sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. So who did you actually record with?
Finn Keane.
Who is it?
Finn Keane.
I've never heard of him.
He did the first 2 Midnight Juggernauts records.
Oh, so that's an interesting choice because obviously they're a bit more dancey.
Yeah, but they've still got that sort of fuzzy sort of guitar effects and cool fuzzy bass lines that you'll probably find on our record as well.
Yeah.
Which Finn is all over.
Yeah.
He loves
It's
all that
amazing.
sort of stuff, playing with effects pedals and effects units and stuff. That's his thing.
Yeah. And that was at our house. We recorded everything there.
So many good guitars in there, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys play any of your own?
Oh yeah, we did.
Majority, I think.
Yeah. We sort of just used their stuff when we got stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, because they got some pretty awesome basses as well.
They do. Yeah. They
brilliant.
do. They do. Yeah.
They're a pretty awesome bass player.
So you guys are currently on tour for the album as well. You're on the road with Cabins. How was Brisbane and Byron for you?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah?
Good fun. Byron was amazing. It was great. Good show. Really nice people.
Way more people than what we were expecting.
Yeah.
Byron, it was a party. So, and the Cabins guys, like I'd heard a little bit about them, but not really much about their music or anything like that. And yeah, they were fantastic. Really great songs, really good players, great songwriters, and yeah, just the biggest legends.
Yeah,
They're the funniest
pretty
guys you could chill
Cheeky
with. Yeah,
buggers.
they're a bit younger than us, so they're showing us how to do it really. So yeah, fantastic.
Sounds like you've got some dirt to dish there.
Yeah, for another day.
But and you guys have also played some pretty big international supports with the likes of Ben Queller and Manchester Orchestra, and there's probably others. Are there others on the list that I don't have?
I think they're the only internationals.
Afghan Wigs.
Afghan Wigs,
yeah.
It's pretty massive.
Just that one. Yeah.
Just that one, nothing big. Nothing big at all. And you've been touring a lot for the last couple of years as well.
Yeah.
What's been where's your favourite town in Australia to play? Big or small?
Perth was pretty good.
Yeah,
Perth's great. Cool.
I reckon Perth would just have to be. We sort of had 3 shows there, and just once again, like it's those places where you're not expecting too many people to come along. With Melbourne, we're pretty safe here. We know that we're going to get a few people to our shows, but when you go to Perth, sort of uncharted territory for us, and then to actually have full up shows, it's really fun. So that was brilliant.
Kind of another little world of its own.
It is, I think they appreciate cool bands coming over there as well.
Yeah.
And us.
And maybe us, yeah.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up. But what are your plans for the rest of 2013? You've got any overseas plans or
What's the plan, Dave?
Okay. Alright.
manager slash drummer slash?
The plan is to finish this tour, which finishes sort of mid-August. And then we may be playing a couple more shows to raise money to go overseas. But we're going to the US in October, hopefully for CMJ. And then another tour at the same time, but I can't give you any of those details yet because I don't have them.
Sounds like you do, but you just can't say.
Yeah, and I think when we get back, we'll probably head to Perth again as well. And we're going to get the next record out hopefully early next year.
Yes.
Maybe you could name your next record after some little town in Perth.
No, it'd be something easier to say.
Yeah,
Something
roll
easier to
off
say.
the tongue.
Smithville.
Yeah.
Smithville.
Or Smiths.
Lily Down.
Where are you guys from? Was it Mooroolbar?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of hard too.
Yeah, we're all about that won't work.
No.
Cool. Anyway, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Get out the door, let 'em all